Okay, in this class we will discuss some of the important problems which is subjected to eccentric loading, riveted joints which is subjected to eccentric loading. So this is a given problem. First let us understand the given problem. The problem is determine the load carrying capacity of the joint as shown in figure. The allowable stress in the 20 mm diameter rivet is 100 Newton per mm square. This is the allowable stresses which is given in the problem. Okay, so determine the load carrying capacity. So we need to determine the value of F. Okay, so this is called an eccentric loading riveted joint. Okay, which is the problem is subjected to eccentric loading riveted joint. We already discussed it regarding that what is meant by eccentricity, and also we discussed it regarding that eccentric loading. Okay, eccentric loading. So the load which is acting away from the centroidal axis of that particular riveted joint. The load acting axis is not coincide with the centroidal axis of this particular riveted joint. Okay, for that we will call it as an eccentricity. So load which is acting at a distance of 960 mm, so that distance we will call it as an E. Okay, that is distance we will call it as an E. So for that we will call it as a eccentricity. Okay, so first let us determine the CG. Okay, for example, if you consider this as a CG with respect to this arrangement. Okay, now you can see here, the first we will find out the centroidal center of gravity, the CG of rivet, CG of the rivet. Okay, this is the detailed arrangement of the rivet with respect to this given problem. Now you can see that we have 4 rivets. So there is a direct load and there is a secondary load, and also the resultant the load which is acting on that particular the rivet we need to determine with respect to this problem. Now we need to find out the CG of the rivet. So for that what we need to do, we need to determine the x bar. X bar is equal to x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus x4, because here we have 4 rivets. Always we need to consider this as a origin. This as a origin. Okay, so this we will call it as a origin. So this is called an x, and this direction we will call it as an y. Okay, this direction we will call it as an y. So with respect to this we need to determine the x bar. So x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus x4 divided by number of rivets. We know that with respect to this, okay, from this is the center of gravity. So with respect to this we need to find out the x1. So x1 is nothing but a 80 plus x2 is equal to 80 plus x3. With respect to this rivet, x3 is equal to 0 plus x4 is also is equal to 0 divided by the number of rivets is 4. If you simplify this, we will get 40 mm. Same way we need to find out the y bar. Y bar is equal to y1 plus y2 plus y3 plus y4 divided by the number of rivets. So which is 4, the number of rivets. So if you simplify this, so here, so y1 is equal to 100. Okay, 100. y2 is equal to 0, second rivet. Okay, plus y3 is also 0. Okay, this is the y dash. Okay, this is the y dash. This is the distance. So this we will call it as a y dash, and also this we will call it as a y dash with respect to that. Okay, so if you simplify that we will get 50 mm. So let us see that. So y4, so this with respect to that fourth rivet, y4 with respect to that fourth divide, y4 is equal to 100. So if you simplify this divided by 4, if you simplify this, we will get 50 mm. This is the CG of the rivite. CG of the rivite. Next, what we need to find out? We need to find out the length. So second parameter, find L1, L2, L3 and L4. Okay, we need to find out. Apart also we need to find out cos theta 1, cos theta 2, cos theta 3 and cos theta 4. Okay, same way we need to determine the parameters. Here L1 is equal to square root of this. Okay, so 50 square plus 40 square. Okay, so y bar plus x bar, that also we will consider. So with respect to that, if you simplify this, we will get 64.03 mm. So which is also equal to L3 is equal to L2 is equal to L3 is equal to L4. L2 is equal to L3 is equal to L4. Okay, so we will also call it like this with respect to this arrangement of the rivetes. Next, what we need to find out? We need to determine the E. So because here this is the CG. This is the CG. So with respect to this we will call it as a x bar, and with respect to this we will call it as a y bar. Okay, so with respect to this CG, okay, the load which is acting exactly here. Okay, this one. So at a distance of 960, but again it is not okay. It is not exactly which is acting on this centroidal axis. Okay, so which is acting at a distance of 40 mm. At a distance of 40 mm. Now you can see here. So here you need to find out that E is equal to 960. Okay, 960 plus at a distance of 40. So if you add these two, we will get 1000 mm. We'll get 1000 mm. Next, here what we need to find out? We need to find out the cos theta. So cos theta 1 is equal to x divided by L1. Cos theta 1 is equal to x divided by L1. Okay, this is the theta. Okay, with respect to this we can find out the cos theta 1. So cos theta 1 is equal to x divided by this, we will call it as a x. Okay, this we will call it as a x, and this we will call it as a L1. Okay, with respect to this, okay, we can determine the cos theta. Now you can if you substitute that value, this we will call it as a x, we will call it as a 40 divided by L1. L1 is equal to 64.03. If you simplify these two, we will get 0.6247. Same way we need to find out. Okay, so here you need to see here cos theta 1 is equal to cos theta 4, but the negative value. Okay, but the negative value. Here same way cos theta 2 is equal to cos theta 3, but negative value will get. Okay, now you can see here we need to find out cos theta 2. Cos theta 2 is equal to same way x divided by L2. Same L2, L1, L2, L3 are same. So 40 divided by 64.03. If we simplify that, we'll get 0.6247. Okay, same way we need to find out that cos theta 3 is equal to 180 minus cos inverse of 40 divided by 64.03. So if you simplify that, okay, 128.66. Same way if you simplify this, cos theta 3 is equal to cos theta 3 is equal to minus 0.6247, minus 0.6247 you will get. Okay, same way you need to simplify the cos theta 4 by using same equation. Cos theta 4 is equal to minus 0.6247. Okay, this is a value for the cos theta 4. Next, what we need to find out? We need to find out the direct load. Okay, the direct shear load. The direct shear load. Direct shear load. Direct shear load on each rivet. Direct shear load on each rivet. So here FD is equal to total load divided by the number of rivets. Total load divided by number of rivet, that we will write it like this, F by 4. So here we have 4 rivets. Next here what we need to find out? We need to find out the secondary shear load. Secondary shear load. So here by using this equation, F1 is equal to F into E into L1 divided by L1 square plus L2 square plus L3 square plus L4 square. This is the equation which is used to determine the secondary shear load. Now if you substitute that values into this equation, we don't know the F, we need to determine the F into, we know the E, eccentricity is equal to 1000 mm, 1000 into, we know the value for L1 which is 64.03, then we know L1 64.03 square plus 64.03 L2 square plus 64.03 square plus 64.03 square. So we can also write like this, or directly also we can write. Okay, so because L1 is equal to L2 is equal to L3 is equal to L4. So if you determine this, if you simplify this, we will get, so F1 is equal to 3.9044 F. Okay, in terms of F only we will get the answer. Okay, next, so here we need to find out the F2. How to find out the F2? F2 is equal to F1 by L1 into L2. Okay, that is equal to here 3.9044 F. Okay, 3.9044 F. So this is equal to F3 is equal to F4. We can also write like this, because L1 is equal to L2 is equal to L3 is equal to L4. Okay. So next, what we need to find out? We need to find out the maximum resultant load. Maximum resultant load, that is most heavily loaded riveted, most heavily loaded riveted are 1 and 2. Okay, with respect to this given problem. Okay, so from that Fr maximum is equal to square root of F1 square plus Fd square plus 2 into F1 Fd cos theta 1, 2 into F1 Ft cos theta 1. Okay, so if you substitute all the values into that equation, in this equation we'll get F1, we know that 3.904 F whole square, plus we know the FD is equal to F by 4 whole square plus 2 into, okay, 2 into F1, we know this 3.904 F into FD, F by 4 into cos theta 1, we know the cos theta 1, that is 0.62047. Okay, so this is the value of cos theta 1. Okay, so if you simplify this whole term, we'll get Fr maximum is equal to 4.0653 F. This is a value we will get with respect to this given equation. Okay, given problem, Fr maximum is equal to 4.0653 F. So here what we need to find out, we need to find out the applied force, okay, with respect to this given problem. Okay, that's what we need to find out, the aim of the problem. Applied force is equal to also Fr max is equal to pi d square divided by 4 into tau. So here we have allowable shear stresses which is given in the problem, that is 100 Newton per mm square. So here we know the Fr maximum, that is 4.0653 F is equal to pi by 4 into 20 square into 100. So the diameter of the rivette which is given in the problem 20 mm. So if you simplify this term, okay, if you simplify this term, the applied force or load, so we'll get 77 to 7.82 newtons. Okay, this is the load which is acting on that particular the joint. Okay, so this is called as applied load. This is called as an applied load. So with respect to this given problem, now you can see here, so here there is a always there is a force which is acting on this. Okay, this is the direct load. So there is a direct shear load which is acting this direction. So this is a force which is acting, okay, in this direction. For example, if the load which is acting so in some angle, so at the time, so we will shown like this. Okay, it should be acting like this, some other, okay, with some in particular angle. So here, so which is the applied load which is acting downwards. Same way the secondary load which is always perpendicular to this, okay, the length. So length of this particular rivette, this is always perpendicular to that the rivette. So this is the theta. Okay, with respect to this we can find out with respect to this the direct shear and the secondary shear. Okay, so in between that we can determine the angle. Okay, so with respect to this problem, the applied load is 7.727 kilonewtons. Okay, so this is the given problem.